Your husband put a gun to my head after me looking out for you on several occasions. You are the battered woman. I'm saying you're the woman that's always somewhere crying. You're the one that's always being cheated on. You're the one. I'm saying but you the one that wants to go run to your friends and tell them what he did wrong in X, Y, and Z. And I was so young, I did not know.
Out here, man, just thinking how beautiful it is today, man. You know, it's a beautiful day to not be a buster, man. It's a beautiful day to not hate on nobody. It's a beautiful day to not spread lies and to not be negative. It's a beautiful day, man, to mind your business.
If Tiny would pay that attention, she wouldn't be even into it right now with Tia. She's looking attention. She wants Tiny. she obsessed with Tiny. Like, she wants Tiny to be her girlfriend. Now, listen, this is my thing. It came out the Tip pulled a gun on her, right? How do we change from Tip not the victim no more? Tip is the victim and Tiny now is the legend.
Tell the truth about me. Tell the truth about what you did to me and apologize. I'm gone. I don't want one dime. I don't want one dime. And here's the other stipulation. Do it within 7 days. Do it within 7 days. I don't want listen, do this, what I'm saying right now, within 7 days.
The hip-hop scene is buzzing, but not because of a hit single or a flashy new deal. This time, the noise is coming from allegations so heavy they could end careers and stain reputations forever. T and Tiny Harris, once celebrated as a power couple in rap and reality TV, are now facing some of the darkest claims imaginable. And this time, their son King Harris has been pulled straight into the storm. Everything ignited when Sabrina Peterson, a former associate turned bitter enemy, took to social media accusing the Harris family of trafficking, coercion, and even drugging women.
Your husband put a gun to my head after me looking out for you on several occasions. You are the battered woman. I'm saying you're the woman that's always somewhere crying. You're the one that's always being cheated on. You're the one. I'm saying but you the one that wants to go run to your friends and tell them what he did wrong in X, Y, and Z. And I was so young, I did not know. I didn't know to not listen to a woman when she's going crazy and crying about her relationship. The only thing I knew is that my friend was going through X, Y, and Z, and I jumped the in like the dumb I was. When he was arrested, that one silver revolver with the long nose on it was the gun that he put to my head, screaming, "Child, kill you, child, kill you." He was on probation. I never once called the police on him. I never once started a case. And as far as my child knowing him, your children call me, your daughter calls me auntie. So as far as my child taking a picture with him and me saying that's his uncle and X, Y, and Z, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. My child has never been in a private setting with him at all. Let's be clear on that.
The internet erupted instantly because this was no ordinary celebrity spat. These accusations carry the weight of freedom-threatening consequences. We are talking about prostitution claims, manipulation, and abuse of power happening behind closed doors. And the moment King's name got dragged into it, the situation escalated to a whole new level. What looked like just another shady online comment spiraled into something much darker.
It's a beautiful day, bro. God has blessed us with this beautiful day. Don't take it for granted. Don't take this beautiful day for granted. Don't be out here spreading propaganda just because you unhappy with your life and yourself. Man, God has blessed you too, man. He got your blessings. Don't look to nobody else and point blame at somebody else because you ain't reached and tapped into your blessings yet. They coming, all right? All right? And furthermore, I'll be in D.C., man. I'll be in D.C. at the Improv. It's 2 more shows. The rest aren't sold out.
It all kicked off when Tiny Harris commented under a post made by Ebony Electra, a close friend of the late Kim Porter. The post was about Diddy's recent trial, where he beat sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Tiny chimed in with, "People want to charge you so bad for being freaky. Nasty work." She likely thought it was nothing more than a slick remark, maybe a jab at the critics. But Sabrina Peterson refused to let it slide. She came for Tiny directly, tying the comment back to her long-standing accusations against the Harris household. In her words, the family did not just have skeletons in the closet, they had victims. Sabrina doubled down with a chilling promise that shook everyone watching. "Lying on me was the beginning of your end." She claimed she had not even revealed the full scope of her receipts yet. And those receipts, she says, include evidence tying not only T and Tiny, but also their 20-year-old son King Harris to trafficking and coercion. Among them, alleged text exchanges between King and a young woman whose family reportedly begged Sabrina for help. convinced their daughter had been trapped in a cycle of drugs and prostitution linked to the Harris family.
Let me get to. I said what I said. Why she ain't talking about she done sucked? So why we ain't talking about that? Let's get into it. Yeah, y'all want to talk about that? Get into it. I'm trying to figure out why she ain't told y'all, but you know, why she ain't told y'all about she one of the women who used to go recruit them. What's up? Hey. Hey.
That is not the kind of statement you throw out casually. And the fact that Sabrina insists federal agents already have the evidence makes the situation sound far more dangerous than internet chatter. Her claim that she protected your children sent shockwaves through fans, hinting she may have held back details out of loyalty until now. To understand why this feels so heavy, you have to revisit her history with T and Tiny. This is not her first time putting them on blast. Back in 2021, she went public with accusations that T once put a gun to her head, that the couple had a pattern of drugging women before taking advantage of them. At the time, the internet split down the middle. Some believed her instantly while others defended T and Tiny as victims of clout chasing. But Sabrina never backed off. Each time she returned, her claims hit harder, and this latest round feels like her attempt at a knockout blow. The Harris family has denied her every step of the way, yet the shadow of those allegations never disappeared. Now, with King's name tied to it, this no longer feels like old beef. It looks like a full-blown scandal. King has already been a magnet for controversy, often trending more for viral fights, public outbursts, or arguments with his father than for music. Fans mocked him not long ago for claiming he grew up rough, while T and Tiny reminded him of his mansion childhood, clowning him for trying hard to be street when he was born into privilege. His image has always been shaky, but being accused of sending texts tied to trafficking pushes him into criminal territory. People are now asking if King was aware of what he was doing, if he got caught in something bigger than himself, or if his name is simply being used as ammunition in his parents' war with Sabrina Peterson. Either way, no one expected it to twist this far. The hip-hop community is split. Some believe Sabrina because she has been consistent for years. Others think the timing is suspicious since her stories always resurface when the Harrises are trending. Tiny's comment under that Diddy post might have seemed careless, but to Sabrina, it was proof that accountability is still being mocked. And when the accusations involve words like trafficking and coercion, nobody can just scroll past. The stakes are massive. If Sabrina's claims check out, the Harris family could be staring not just at embarrassment but indictments. And here's where it gets even darker. She claims the feds already have the receipts. That suggests this is not just internet drama, but possibly a real case unfolding in the background. Fans are dissecting every post and every word, desperate to know if this is smoke without fire or the first sparks of an explosion. T has spent decades building an empire. Tiny carved her own name in music and reality TV. And King is still trying to find his footing despite constant criticism. But if these allegations stick, everything they have built could collapse, leaving the Harris name forever linked to one of hip-hop's ugliest scandals. That is why these accusations cut so deep. T.I. was not just another Atlanta rapper. He helped build trap music, dropped hits like Whatever You Like and Live Your Life, and branded himself as the King of the South, a title he lived up to for years. With Tiny, the R&B singer from Scape, they looked like the ultimate hip-hop power couple, balancing credibility with fame. On T and Tiny, the family hustle. On the surface, they had it all: music, money, a mansion, and a royal image in Atlanta. But behind that polished exterior, drama was never far away. The accusations of abuse and manipulation that continued to resurface show this story was never as polished as it looked. Sabrina Peterson has been the loudest voice tearing down that image. And when you really trace her history with the Harris family, it becomes clear why she refuses to let go. In the early 2000s, Sabrina was in the same circles as T and Tiny, hustling, networking, and building her own name. But over time, their relationship soured, and by 2021 it exploded into open warfare. That was when she accused T of putting a gun to her head during an argument, a claim that instantly spread across social media. Around that same time, multiple women came forward with stories that accused the couple of drugging and exploiting them. The Harrises denied every word, but the number of voices involved made people raise eyebrows. Sabrina took the role of advocate for the alleged victims, while her critics painted her as someone with a personal grudge, using Instagram as a weapon. That tension has never cooled off, and her latest accusations are like gasoline on a fire that never burned out. What makes the current wave of claims in 2024 and 2025 different is King Harris being pulled into the mess. Until now, the drama mostly stuck to T and Tiny, who were adults responsible for their own choices. Dragging King into it feels like pulling the next generation into the scandal. King has always been seen as the rebellious son, the one who rejects the polished celebrity lifestyle. Instead of staying in the background, he made headlines for viral fights, clashes with his parents, and rants about how he grew up. Fans often mocked him for trying to present himself as tough when he was raised in privilege. That pursuit of street credibility made him an internet punchline, but now those jokes feel darker, because the latest claims tie his name to text messages linked to trafficking. Supporters debate whether King is just collateral damage in his parents' feud with Sabrina, or if he was more involved than anyone realized. Either way, his name is now stamped on a scandal you cannot brush off. Social media has turned into the main battlefield. Sabrina uses Instagram as her stage, dropping cryptic messages, bold threats, and hints of evidence that she says will blow everything wide open. She is strategic, playing to the crowd and keeping both fans and critics on edge. When she wrote that federal agents already have the proof, it sent the rumor mill into overdrive. Instantly, speculation started. Is she working with investigators? Is there a sealed case moving quietly in the background? Or is she bluffing, using the threat of the feds to make her story hit harder? Those questions now dominate Twitter threads, Reddit debates, and comment sections, where people are dissecting her every word as if it were a true crime drama unfolding live. Meanwhile, the Harris family is struggling to contain the fallout. T, normally quick to jump online and defend himself with long speeches, has gone silent. For a man known to rant at critics, his silence feels strange. Some fans believe he is ignoring Sabrina because her claims are baseless. Others think he and Tiny are being advised to stay quiet, preparing legal defense rather than public clapbacks. The lack of response has only fueled suspicion, because silence from someone like T speaks louder than words. Then there is the spark that reignited the storm, Tiny's comment. Her remark about people wanting to charge you just for being freaky may have been aimed at Diddy, but it landed as something much bigger. Survivors of abuse read it as dismissive, almost mocking. Sabrina seized on it immediately, framing it as proof that Tiny still refuses to take accountability. In an era where one careless post can flip public opinion overnight, that single comment may end up being one of the most damaging things Tiny has ever written. It gave Sabrina the perfect opening to drag old wounds back into the spotlight and tie fresh allegations to the Harris name. What makes this saga resonate is that it is not only about one family feud. It reflects the larger culture of silence and unchecked power in hip-hop. The Harrises have always projected wealth, influence, and control. To critics, that kind of environment is the perfect cover for exploitation. Whether Sabrina is revealing uncomfortable truths or waging a vendetta, her claims are forcing fans to ask questions about what really happens behind closed doors. If she is telling the truth, hip-hop could be staring down one of its ugliest scandals yet. If she is exaggerating, the damage is still permanent because these kinds of allegations never wash away. And at the center of it all stands King Harris, a young man who wanted to prove he was more than T and Tiny's son, but now finds himself pulled into a scandal that could haunt him forever. If the Harrises believed the storm would pass like another wave of online drama, they may be in for a harsh reality check. Words like trafficking, drugging, and prostitution do not stay confined to gossip blogs. They invite lawyers, police, and possibly federal agents. And the most chilling part is Sabrina's insistence that the proof is not in her pocket anymore, but already in the government's hands. If that is true, the Harris family is not just fighting to save face. They could be fighting for their freedom, with their legacy on the line in a courtroom instead of a stage. That is why this new wave of accusations cuts so deep. If it sticks, it will not just stain T and Tiny as individuals. It could wipe out the entire Harris family brand. Nobody is going to buy into the glossy reality TV image of family hustle when the headlines are screaming trafficking investigations. And then there's King Harris. At his age, he should be stepping into the spotlight on his own terms, building a career in rap, and proving he is more than just his parents' son. Instead, his name is being dragged into allegations that could crush even established rappers, let alone someone still trying to make his mark. The internet has already turned him into a target. Fans roast him by saying he wanted to act street but got caught up in the wrong streets. Others see him as a pawn in Sabrina's war with his parents. Either way, King is cornered. Even if nothing is proven, his name will always be tied to the scandal. And in hip-hop, where reputation is everything, that kind of stain can kill a career before it even starts. The industry is paying attention to. Remember how fast companies cut ties with Dat Bobby after his reckless comments? Or how did his empire collapse once lawsuits started piling up? That is the reality T and Tiny face now. Brands, networks, and investors want nothing to do with anyone carrying the weight of trafficking rumors. Even if no charges ever come, the stigma alone is like a scarlet letter. Everywhere they go, whispers follow. People do not forget accusations this heavy. And Sabrina is not letting up. She has positioned herself as a voice for survivors, and each time she drops another bomb online, more people rally behind her. The backlash does not scare her, it fuels her. Every slip-up T or Tiny makes on social media, Sabrina flips into fresh ammunition for her cause. She is playing a long game, and so far, the Harrises have not figured out how to shut her down. Ignoring her has failed. Threats have failed. Now, with the possibility of federal involvement, the situation feels completely out of their control. For fans, the big question is whether this is the start of another major celebrity downfall, or just another cycle of messy back and forth. Either way, the damage is already done. The Harris name is now attached to something no one in hip-hop wants on their record. Think about what is at stake. T, who crowned himself king of the South, turned Atlanta into a global force and went from trap star to businessman. Tiny, who rose from R&B fame to become a household name through reality TV king, who wanted to carve his own path in rap. All of it is clouded by Sabrina's claims, her so-called receipts, and the possibility that federal investigators are watching. The blogs will not stop posting. The streets will not stop talking. The fans will not stop debating. But the truth is still hiding in the shadows. Until it comes to light, the Harris family is trapped in limbo, stuck between fighting to defend their legacy and waiting for Sabrina's next move. Every silence gets spun as guilt. Every post gets dissected as evidence. Every rumor piles onto the weight of the scandal. And if history tells us anything, this will get uglier before it gets clearer. So buckle up. Because whether it plays out in courtrooms, Instagram lives, or breaking news alerts, the Harris family is at the center of one of the wildest scandals hip-hop has seen in years. And the most shocking part, this might only be the beginning. Subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment below to stay locked in, because this storm is far from over.